Holy shit. Thank you. I can't believe it. That was foolish. Let's get it out, get it out. I see you up there, bye-bye. Loving laying up there. I need to kick you off the spot and get up there myself later on. What's it called? Iron. What's that called? Why does it show different? Wow. Let's go ahead and get this. I'll show you how this book I just ordered. How's it going, everybody? Alito, he's up there, crashed out. You know, I have my quilt down because I don't never sleep under. I just make the bed up and I just climb on top and go to sleep with the windows cracked. He's up there. He's been up there for about an hour and a half, crashed out. He's got one eye open, peeking at me, looking at me now. I will lift it up and let y'all see. It was funny. Anyway, I ordered this book called The Iron Republic, as originally published in a Florida magazine in 1902. Yes, and I already downloaded the PDF, so I was looking at that. That's why I'm all tired. I really want to lay down because I've been reading. My eyes are strained looking at this dang screen. Pretty awesome friggin' book. Let me go back. Let me show you right quick. Again, that's not what the one that you purchased looks totally different. But see that? If you could only imagine the cities that existed long before this rudimentary stuff here. Now, the enemy knows this. It's you who don't know this. And that's why I keep telling people the cities even the pictures that we got to see of the World's Fair are a far cry from what originally. We have gone backwards 1,000%, and that's why I keep saying we must be practical. I know you're following all these different channels and stuff, and no, but obviously 95% of them are never going to get it. And there's a handful, because of their research and because of certain individuals, they're going to start seeing things different. And it may be too late. Now, purchasing it as I did, it looks like that. The Republic, okay? And only costs $20. So I'm going ahead. Hopefully it'll be here next week. That's not what it said, but we hope it does. And there'll be another one to add to the consortium. I think Red Blood was sending it to me, but I already had it. I already saw it because with the books I ordered, I see all this. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and order it. But I said, let me see if I can pull it up in PDF. And obviously, to my surprise, bam, bada boom, bada bang. Well, hold on, let me see. Let me show you. It was the bottom one, and you can download it on PDF, which I did. I have a lot of room, though I'm not big on a lot of room. It's either as fact or fiction. It is a rare story and represents an ideal society and government that will make, and it's based on the Republic. Long before Tartary existed, and this is it in PDF. That's the that's the library thing. Like if you're checking it out. Hold on, let's roll up. So, let me tell you something. Yeah. I can read it from PDF. It's like I said, 1902. It's the original. Why did that do that, bro? Let me pull up PDF again. Oh my goodness. Move. Why does it do that? What's on? All day. Has any of y'all stuff been doing that all day? Like going on and off and on and off? Like, what kind of friggin' frack? All right. Folders. Manage folders. No folders. Why is it doing this? It's bugging out. That's all I'm going to say. I went back down to folders. I'm going to downloads, PDFs. I don't have on my tablet. I don't have the whatchamajiggy. I don't have the. I don't have the thing that says PDF. You dig what I'm saying? So it says download again. And I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see. Okay. Now, I want to move it. Anyway, I have it in here a couple of times. All right. I was doing it in a different thing. And this way, that's what it looks like. And I can read it. It's very old. Like I said, it's the original text of 1902. So, I was reading this thing, my eyes going blurry and everything, and I was like, and it's gratuity on my part to be so grateful and thankful to know that I have been walking in a line of truth more than anything. Now, we must remember in 1902, many things were being, and we can repudiate this, but were being manipulated and changed. But there is so much that wasn't, and many things have been hiding in the scabbards of the cupboard for a long time. And yeah, so feeling winded. Let me see, where's my thing at? My thingy-majiggy. It's supposed to be in my folders. I downloaded it twice, which is stupid. All right, I'm going to my OneDrive. All right, documents, downloads, and here we have it. There it goes. I don't know why it does that. I'm gonna remove one of them because I can't have all that crap in here. I don't know why it does that. This tablet has never done that before. So anyway, as you can see, I've got tons and tons and tons, and I could scroll for days of all my information that's in here. I mean, literally, just up and down, up and just keep. Here's one: state of emergency, reserve my rights, blah blah blah. Revolution series. That's going back to 2000. From a GPS 2012, some stuff older than that. So there's a lot of Ark of Home Innovators, the PDF, before I ordered the book, because I wanted to make sure Hermetic Imagination on fantasy, lands and all that kind of stuff. Zardovan, the Bible, stuff that I have the books, but I've always read the stuff first. So I wanted to share that. So I've been reading it. So I had two of them. I got the books right here. I'm about to read right now. And I'm gonna get into them because I know I'm not gonna read long either. But here it is, very top, because I, had last thing I did, and I was just, and I don't know how far I got. It's like 90 something pages or whatever. And let me tell you something. It's even got these Masonic, Captain Bryant, and he's the one that went to the high school. There's a lot of it's amazing information. And like I said, what we get to see in the pictures, that's why I said it's important for you to go and download and look at all that stuff that what you're able to look at before they destroyed it. The same thing you saw them do, the same thing they did then with certain individuals, same things they've been doing with the food plants. They got the little CIA deep covert operation groups, Mossad, whatever, MI5, whatever, they all probably work together, who are running around at night tactically with the right equipment, blowing up, burning up food factories, this, that, and the other, and everybody else is looking like an idiot, especially all these tough little pale skins who think they're the greatest thing walks per earth, and then all these little idiots who melanated idiots who don't know no better. Here we got them. Here we go again. We got them in here, and they can't even give thumbs up. And I know I'm gonna give the best context on here, even though I'm here to beat up some feelings. Sometimes I got to. Let me see. APJR, what's going on? I know Rondo didn't come in. Otherwise, he'd a shout out. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this reading over with because I am tired. I want to lay down and get some rest. I'm realizing the more rest, the better. I wish I would have knew of that when I was in the military, but it was next to almost impossible with all the work and the time, the schedule, 7 days a week, 12-hour days, and then being part of the things that I volunteered for in ignorance, PRP or whatever. I rarely got 4 to 5 hours of sleep, and being young, we thought it was all right when it was absolutely not. I wish I knew then what I know now, but everything has its practical reason, so I don't fret over it. So the more sleep I can get now, the better, especially with the way things are going, and especially with all these sleeping ass people all over the place. You would think that I care about what happens to people. I care what happens to those who have come into the knowing. Those who sit on the other side of the fence, I can give a fuck less what happens to you. I mean, you get exactly, so do all your perversions, do all your running around, your dumb shit, sit there, look idle like a little bump on a log, be part of the agency, let them manipulate and brainwash you, whatever it is. I don't give a fuck. Go out there, do the things you're doing, with the little sick things you're doing and all that with the little ones and this, that, and other. I don't give a fuck. And I would love to see somebody make me a mark so I can mark them. Play around in the field you know nothing about. I might be doing something just to pull people in. You never know. Who knows? I might be blowing a whole lot of huff and puff and smoke. I know a lot of information I talk about before all this shit existed. There's no way to know. Except for what I made them know. See, there's a difference between me and you. Some of y'all have to hide in the shadows, be left in the shadows, deal through and in the shadows, no matter how close you think you get. It's different from 40, 50, 60 years ago. When was you born, Mr. Branch? 1958. You can't be that. Yeah, you was born in 1966. Whatever you think. Doesn't mean a fuck to me. The poisoning, all the stupid stuff that goes on in this world, all the dumbasses, all the lost, I hate that word, souls, all the idiots. There's so many to play with out here. Let me go ahead, and APJ, it's great to have you here. Let me go ahead and get this reading in. Right here, we're going to start off with DNA of the gods. You know how I feel about that word. The Anunnaki creation of Eve and the alien battle for humanity. Chris H. Hardy, PhD. We'll get into Arthur Kessler and William Cooper later on. Mama Red, what's going on, beloved? So I had 2 likes, and I didn't see you in here. I didn't know. If you popped in, you know you're supposed to hit that thumbs up, baby girl. So we got a couple of idiots looking on. They might be from far away, or they might be somebody sitting close when these little fake-ass immigrant brought into the land think they're going to do something, get their ass be turned into a, what they call a stinking shit pie. That's what's going to happen to them. Unbeknownst to them. Lone Wolf put up something a little early, and I liked it. It was pretty good. like I stated, there's not a lot of good anything left, but there are some good officials, at least the ones that I train. I know they like to have the conversations that I did not enumerate them with because that's not what they were there for. So getting people back into physical shape, and even though I'm not the best now, uh, and having them look at the world different with better eyes, I think is a benefit. No, they can still be wayward and fall victim to the idiots who are running around in costumes. Because see, police, there's no such thing. It's called policy enforcers. It's not about law. When people say I'm giving a lawful order, no, you're fucking not. You're giving no order at all. You're making a suggestion with a misinterpretation of believing and thinking somebody else is going to adhere to your administration, to which they don't have to, you fucktards. And I made sure these next policy enforcers knew that if they follow the Constitution, then things are based on legalese to which they can enact, especially if the people who are working in fiat are moving in fiat. Operating and traveling are moving, not necessarily traversing or traveling. There's a big difference with all these fake ass judges. Judges ain't been around since, like I said, 1789. These are frauds. My godmother was one. I should know. One of the top ones of Ohio, Shirley Strickland. My aunt, whatever you want to call her. Anyway, swear the Goombas come in here who thinks everybody's supposed to live the lies and believed in the fucking lies. Didn't he just get a what you call it for his vehicle? So what? A license tap? Yeah, of course. In case one of you Goombas or somebody, yeah. If I had to take one of you fucktards out, yeah. Goddamn right. A 3 or 4, or 10 or 20, or 30 or 50 or 200 or 1,000, whatever the fuck I'm assigned. Anyway, let's get into this. The residents of Anana, the Lear of Anu, thy installed. Evelyn, hey, how are you, Alito? So here we are, and we have left off of this. Let me turn this down a little more. I don't want to be sitting here vibrating with a different frequency, because you know they have these at a fucked up frequency. Even if you go to YouTube, there's one individual, I'll share it later, who actually, his music is actually at the appropriate frequency. All the ones on here, if you go to and I used to tell people to go do it until a friend of mine was using his stuff he pulled out of his backpack, whatever. And he was showing me that the frequencies coming through the TV, even though it may say 369, this, that, and other, the God frequency or whatever, they were all at this. In music, it's called a certain bass that the fake Zionists, whatever, did with hip hop when they wanted them to sing more about violence and this, that, and other, because they knew that it swayed people. He showed me, and I was like, and so these motherfuckers is lying. He says, not so much that they're lying, it's the way the TVs are set up with this corporation. The output is at 440. So when you're listening to shit, they can still stick shit over there to get in your head. And he showed me. I was like, damn, that like an old high school oscilloscope. But it still works on the same principles. And then he took a little thing and he hit it and he says, watch, I can make the whole TV black out as if you put a magnet under it. And he did it with a tuning fork. And I says, get the fuck out of here. So if you want to be watching me, like I stated, not my beloved kinfolk, the idiots, no, you're going to be walking into an inferno. And if you're ready and that's what you want to do, you're more than welcome. That's inside. They should understand. So anyway, the Anunnaki used their great artist. This is by Chris H. Hardy, PhD, which PhD don't mean a fuck. The Anunnaki used their great artistic sense and know-how to build magnificent temple abodes. They live there and keep in the holies of holies. We read this before. I just want to re-enlighten. Holies of holies, the knowledge, technology, and sacred techno-magical objects, the MEs, of their specific, and that's in parentheses, of their specific function, power, and knocks. At the same time, it is the temple where they are worshipped. With an arrow open to their followers, the temple has generally a whole city built around it. Does it sound familiar? Around it. Like the organs of our own, the bells, and everything else, and so many other things. Even certain waters that would trickle down and make certain ambient sounds, that they destroyed those first. And that was a place for the women. Magnificent it was in the children. They just destroyed these sick fucks. A high priest will be in charge of both the scientific and spiritual knowledge and will take care of writing records on clay tablets, gathering whole libraries of copies of tablets, and will perform the sacred rituals. All right. And this right here, I love this, the Absu, or Absu. To the Absu, pure land, where great waters rapidly flow, to the abode of flowing waters. The Lord betakes himself the abode of flowing waters, and Enki and the pure waters established, as in the midst of the Absu, a great sanctuary he establishes. Eden. And then when he was over here, remember this? Enki answered his son Marduk, my son, what is it you do not know? What more could I give you? Marduk, what is it that you do not know, and what I give you in addition? Whatever I know, you know. So let's carry on. Excuse me for the lighting. I like the light behind me instead of in front of me. You don't need to. You just need to hear my voice and see what I want you to see. We see also a great respect for one's mother. Thus, when Nimna is given lordship of the fourth region, the Sinai Peninsula, called Tillman. Isn't it funny how they murdered football player Tillman? Okay. And that's in parentheses. On which stood a sacrifice. Like Army Ranger, ex-football player, Dallas or something, whatever the fuck. Tillman. They murdered him. I'm just saying, it says Sinai Peninsula, for those who want to believe it. On which stood the new postiluvial spaceport in a land arid and inhospitable. Her son Ninurta, in parentheses it states, fathered by her brother Enlil, constructed a whole irrigation network so that the vegetation, crops, flowers, trees, and fruit trees could grow, giving the people the food and comfort they needed. There is strong father-daughter bonding, and at least on the part of Enki, it is riddled with incest, as stated. And Enki, who in his overwhelming wish to get a male heir, and having had only a daughter from Nimna, starts engaging thus daughter of his, and then his granddaughter likewise. Anu is said to have loved his great-granddaughter, Inanna, in a more than symbolic manner, and to have been with her whenever he visited Earth, although one time that she visited Nibiru. And we know that where Nibiru is, right? Of course, let's note that we are in a society in which half-brother, half-sister marriage is not only welcome, but favored by the heritage laws. As for the union with a full sister or brother, it is permissible for pleasure, but marriage is forbidden. Furthermore, we are talking about near immortals. In parentheses, it states, from our standpoint, and even if the quicker Earth cycles make the Anunnaki on Earth age a bit faster than on their mother planet, to the point of making, because of all the toxins and where they put certain heavy metals, it's an inversion of what should be. Anu, when visiting Earth, looked younger than his own sons. We see beautiful poems chanting the sensual love of a sister for a half-brother, and we don't see the Anunnaki rejoicing together often. The magnificent feasts are mostly during Anu and his wife's Antua's visits to Earth. For the significant religious feasts, the gods are mostly rejoicing with their followers and devotees in their own cities, but rarely between Anunnaki. Human to human gods, the shadow side, and we'll get into that next time. I wanted to finish that up. Like I said, it was going to be too much. The Book of Enoch. An appendix to the Book of Enoch. We'll get to that in a minute. Excuse me. We're at chapter 107. And I saw written on them that we're pretty much in the end. And I saw written on them that generation upon generation shall transgress till a generation of righteous arises, which is happening with all these fucktards, all the high training and Tylenol and Advil and shots and TRT and all that, which ain't going to mean shit. And transgression is destroyed and sin passes away. I'm tired of some of these words they've committed themselves to. And also, they have a very perverse way of making you look away from things that are very possible. Anyway, passes away, and the earth and all manner of good comes upon it. And now, my son, go and make known to thy son Lamech that this son which has been born is in truth his son, and that this, he states, is no lie. And when Methuselah had heard the words of his father Enoch, for he had shown to him everything in secret, he returned and showed them to him, and called the name of that son Noah. For he will comfort the earth after all the destruction. In appendix to the book of Enoch, chapter 108, another book which Enoch wrote for his son Methuselah and for those who will come after him, and keep the law in the last days. And the law is order, people. And if you read the laws, you will see that they are more common, which I read quite often, are more common to what is natural, without these little goofy ass, crew cut, dumb ass 20-something year olds who've been conditioned in one generation to sit there in front of babies with no resistance and no moral subjugation to tell them what a baby doll, especially a melanated one, in her lap, talking about. And so, what is that? What? And the babies are sitting there repeating the bullshit regurgitated by these worthless phenoms called people or things. Talking about, it could be a boy or a girl, and little babies don't know no better. Don't worry. You'll get what's coming. You cannot fuck with something you was never meant to fuck with. And wait ye indeed till sin has passed away, for the name shall be blotted out of the book of life, and out of the holy books, the words, anyway, and their seed shall be destroyed forever. And their spirits shall be slain, and they shall cry. And see, that's what they don't get. Their spirits shall be slain. They don't really get what that means, the source. Something corrupted cannot return. No, you just don't float around freely and shit. I don't think they get it. And they never will. Because there's other things that they lament to. Falsitudes. Make lamentation in a place that is chaotic wilderness, and in the fire shall they burn. Remember what I expressed to you, what fire is? It's not what we conceive of it. It's beyond the scope. Stupidity. For there is no earth there. Oh, listen. An abode of what? And I saw there something like an invisible cloud, for by reason of its depth, I could not look over. Remember I spoke about the gulf that they have everybody calling it? Anyway, I could not look over, and I saw a flame of fire blazing brightly, and things like shining mountains circling and sweeping to and fro. And I asked one of the holy angels who was with me, and said unto him, what is this shining thing? For it is not a heaven, but only the flame of a blazing fire, and the voice of weeping and crying and lamentation and strong pain. And he said unto me, this place which thou seest, here are cast the spirits of sinners and blasphemers. They've changed so many words so pathetically. I guess they can't help but listen to the idiot they're listening to. Idiots. Voices in their heads. Didn't somebody make a song? Voices in my... And I even did a video to it. Anyway, that was a cup of tea. And he said unto me, this place which thou seest, here are cast the spirits of the sinners and blasphemers, and of those who work wickedness. Okay, I can run with that. And of those who pervert. I can run with that. Everything. And the Lord hath spoken, and that is us. The Lord is one body. It's one, equivalent of that of origin, of creation, of life. I'm speaking in riddles, but it's more so than what you think it is. And you're a part of it. The Lord hath spoken through the mouth of the prophets, and in parentheses, even the things that shall be. For some of them are written and inscribed above in the heaven. And see, they have dismissed the reality of that because the pleasures have been too grand. They have been blocked from seeing. They listen to me, and they can only have their little henchmen listen, as if they're going to blot that. It's about, y'all have rushed ahead just too fast. So you've kind of fucked that direction up. And maybe some of them want to be put out their misery. That's not how it's going to work. So anyway, They've got to all these ones doing all the murdering and killing and robbing, and the little goofy nigga in Queens. Look at him go over there and shoot the little Arab brother or Dominican, whatever. And then he turns around and shoots him in the leg or whatever. And he's got the little AR pistol. You know, some little fucktard. You know what I'm saying? His neighbor, actually. Anybody, y'all see that in Queens, New York? Anyway, all these idiots. The creation of the Rockefellers, see all these little Goombas, see MI5, it doesn't matter. And all the little dumb things they're doing, they're going to continue because we need them to continue doing it. They're too stupid. And the ones that can't stop, they'll get a real pardon. Not from some fake fucking judge. Anyway, and I asked one of the holy angels, I wanted to read this again. Holy angels. Anyway, who was with me and said unto him, what is this shining thing? For it is not a heaven, but only the flame of a blazing fire. Remember? We cannot even conceptualize or conceive, okay? These idiots wanted to put something in words. No, they're so fucking dumb. And the voice of the weeping and crying and lamentation in strong pain, very much so. Lamented, it means, it should say permanent. Remember I was saying eternal, infinity, expansion, plane that goes on forever? That's the earth you live on. Oh, it goes on forever. And these fucktards just made the grand, that was one of the first mistakes them idiots made. And let's say if some of them are still alive, sucking on a goddamn plastic straw of some form or sort. I'm making fun of it, right? Let's just say it won't last long. For some of them are written and inscribed above in the heaven, in order that the angels may read them, and know that which shall befall the sinners and the spirits of the human humble, and of all those who have afflicted their bodies and been recompensed by God, and of those who have been put to shame by wicked men, who love God and love neither gold nor silver, nor any of the good things which are in the world, but gave over their bodies to torture, who since they came into being longed not after earthly food, but regarded everything as a passing breath, and live accordingly. And the Lord tried them much, and their spirits were found pure, so that they should bless his name. Not worship. We're supposed to even give blessings to one another, like a courtesy. But no, what do? We sit there and we become redundant in a false lamentation because we haven't even been allowed to open our eye. Yeah, I know. My grandmother, everybody says you should have been a preacher. You would have corrected so many things. Fuck that. It's going to be corrected in time anyway. Trust. And trust in that. And all the blessings destined for them I have recounted in the books, and he hath assigned them their recompense. Because they have been found to be such a loved heaven more than their life in the world, and though they were trodden underfoot of wicked men, vile, and experienced abuse in reveling from them and reveling from them, and were put to shame, yet they blessed me, and shame also means death. Are you aware of that? Okay. And now I will summon the spirits of the good who belong to the generation of light. Never pay attention to the fucking bones, people. There was a time when it was important. Unnecessary. The spirits of the good who belong to the generation of light, and I will transform those who were born in darkness, who were in the flesh, were not recompensed with such honor as their faithfulness deserves. That means that they never got to come here and be perverted. So they will be given the charge to do otherwise and deal with those. Are you aware that some of these bastards, they lay in the dirt? They lay in the dirt and they're watching themselves peel away. They're watching themselves be gnawed upon. And even without eyes and a tongue and a voice, they scream and holler and they watch and they see, and they're in a mist, not even knowing where they're at, but they're not dead. And that's what these fucktards, they don't have a, they can't even imagine what they have awaiting they dumbasses. And Rubios and Gates and whatever you want to call these fucktards. Musks, whatever. Let them enjoy their little stupid shit pawls and parties. And even the people behind this, whatever, things, whatever. It doesn't matter if they walk on 4 legs, 6 legs, or 2 legs, or 1. All right. So yesterday we were hitting off, and I was telling you, I expressed to you about the fragmentations of the original writings, to which they profess to be the original writings of the Dead Sea Scrolls, and we know there's older ones than that. Okay, and then we went through chapter 8, and we were speaking on and Azael. Excuse me. This is the Book of Giants, the Watchers, Nephilim, and the Book of Enoch by Joseph Lumpkin. Excuse me. Okay, and we got down to Simjaza taught the casting of spells and root cuttings. Amaros taught counter spells, release, and my Spanish is getting so much better. I can't help with the rolling R's. Release, like children. Release from spells, in parentheses. Bar Kijal. I'm studying Hindi as well. Taught astrology and Kokabal. Taught the constellations portents, which is based upon portals. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds, and Erekiel, the signs of the earth, and Shamsiel, the signs of the sun, and Seriel, the course of the moon. And as men perish, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. And the course of the moon is portals, like the suns. See, so the moon's right here, and then it goes right here, and then it goes right here. And because of the clouds or wherever, the shading or whatever, and regardless of where the sun's at, okay, that portal, you may not be able to see it that night in passing, because those clouds, you can't see that far. And then another portal in another position based upon seasons. And the same as the sun and its trajectory, not the other suns. You may sometimes see the lights in what's called, we call that a cross, I forget what it's called. And you won't know it. And so the sun will be even much brighter, but there's a direct correlation between that sun and another sun on another earth. And you won't know that because they have lied to you for so long. Anywho, and that's as if you want to say Joshua 4, and you say, and their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice. Then the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other. Are you paying attention? In order therewith to provoke the Lord, the Creator, or God, saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth, and all men and all animals. And the Lord said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth, ye from man to the birds of the air, together with cattle and beasts that are in the field. For I repent, and that I made them. And all men who walked in the ways of the Lord died in those days before the Lord brought the evil to man, which he had declared, for this was from the Lord, that they should not see the evil which the Lord spoke of concerning the sons of men. Do you get that? Not for lagworthiness of this terrible writing and shit. Anyway, but do you get that? So you know that to make a chicken, you must cross a buzzard with a what? In order to get a cow, poor wretched creatures, to which they never were meant, you must take a bison and a what? Or a bull and a what? In order to get a pig, you must take a wild boar, which is not pork, and a what? What animal must you cross-mix with a boar to get a pig, one of the smartest animals now on earth? Smarter than a dog, actually. More clever than a fox. Not as strong as the boar compared to a wolf, so we can't say that. Well, you say guinea pig. Well, you need to first know where a guinea pig comes from. It's a river rat. Do you know what a river rat is? How big they can get? Well, how about a capybara? Y'all don't know shit, do you? Well, who you think was the ones that created and did that? Oh, your old trustworthy 13th fucking tribe and their little concerts. Chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, or Michael, whatever you want to call him, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all lawlessness being done on the earth. No, we know that Gilgamesh was a giant. Noah was a lot bigger than us. And giants existed up until the 1900s when there was a killing spree that went around, getting rid of cats over 20-something feet tall. Trust me. Now the ones that they have, they're a little different. You haven't really seen them. Well, they still fall hard too. And they said to each other, let the cries from the destruction of earth ascend up to the gates of heaven. And 3, and now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men, make their petition, saying, bring our case before the Most High. Who do you think they were making it to? The fucking women. And who was the case and where was the heaven? It's around you. Be wiser than that. Oh, I don't dismiss. I hate the word God. I don't hate the creator or creators. Male or female would never extrapolate. How the fuck can we even sit here and deem that on something we're cut from, but cut off from? And idiots open their mouths and they don't know what they say. It's better to be more careful than careless. But to worship what? Fuck you worshiping people out here. Dumbasses. How about worship yourself and become what you were meant to be instead of what you've become? Damn, people are so damn dumb. I'm not going to read that one. You have made all things, and you have power over all things, and all things are revealed and open in your sight, and you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. Look at what Azazel has done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were made and kept in heaven. Do you think that you can keep a name holy if you could speak it and you're unholy? Motherfucking make it make sense, people. So whenever I see these goofies come talking about Yahweh Shah, that's why I had to hurt their little fucking feelings and show them Baboabeth. And a few others that I haven't shown on here. You dumbasses, you worship the fake god of this earth, and that motherfucker's about to show himself to you, you fucking idiots. It, them, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't have no term, name, or anything. I don't fucking give a fuck. I'm telling you. I had this idiot on Instagram. Wow, so rude. And I said, what the fuck are you looking for then? What the fuck are you here for then? There's not one platform that's not a rude or prude. I'm sharing something somebody shared, you idiot. Now take your little goofy ass on and be liberal somewhere. Fucktard. Excuse my language. But it tickled me to see it tickled me and it saddened me for a spick of a second because I was like, this motherfucker really thinking that. And yet, it could have been narcissism or sarcasm. But then when you look at the motherfucker's page and you realize that he's got 2 posts. Oh, here we go. Anyway, and Simjaza, who taught spells to whom you gave authority to rule over, is his associates. So a spellcaster can rule over his associates. Listen to me. And they have gone to the daughters of men on the earth and have had sex with the women and have defiled themselves and revealed to them all kinds of sins. Wouldn't it be like the custodians? Wouldn't it? Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And the women have borne giants in the whole earth, number 9, has thereby been filled with the blood and unrighteousnesses. And if you read in 4Q quatrain, it would state blank flesh, blank all, blank monsters. Blank will be, blank blank. These are brackets, these blanks. They would arise. I could actually fill them in, but I'm not here to do that. Blank bracket, lacking in true knowledge. Blank because that means to be interred into an indifference of lies, created by postponed generations to be converted into the shit that I'm reading now. To add homonyms and synonyms and all kind of bullshit when I keep telling you, you are more powerful than you fucking know. Then it goes on, bracket, in the end it will perish and die. In the end, it will perish and die. It's a consortium of thought and belief. It's a struggle that's self-centered. It is an existing thing that you give power to every fucking day. You have actually literally abra-fucking-cadabra, speaking it into truth. You have created and made something a fucking reality because of the perverseness of a bunch of long, goatee bearded, fake Shirley Temple curled, nasty, Hollywood baby, tiny pee-pee sucking facsimiles all over this fucking beautiful earth. And this did not suffice to blank, and they will be blank. That's enough of that. Exposing the expositions. 1851, 1915. This is the revised version from the 2019 by Howdy Mikowski, and it's the 2021 edition, which is an excellent fucking read. I love it. I really do. This one right here, I had to go forward and read a little more. Excellent. I need some more coconut water. Could y'all hold on for a second while I grab my coconut water? I gotta have it with a little lemon. Oh my God. No, I'll read. I was gonna run down and get it. Festival Hall and Cascades. Remember I showed you this picture? I said, I want y'all to look at this and gaze upon its fucking beauty. And they have motherfuckers running around in Central Park, which is our actual burial site, playing and everything else. That's how sick these fucks are. Over 27, all our buildings destroyed. You even have steps that lead nowhere. There's steps all over this. I visited them when I was coming over here, 4 different places. Literally steps as if it's reaching to the top of the mountains. Just nothing behind it. But it belonged to something wondrous and beautiful. It's so powerful, the steps themselves. Somebody put up a post this and I was like, God damn it, I remember on Facebook, if I remember right, I shared a couple of things, the pictures of steps that went up almost 3 stories to nothing with a forest behind it. Just brand new, not a real forest, saplings. No more than 100, 200, 150 feet high. And then I had this one, and when I showed the old, because of World War II, because of the so-called fake Civil War, I showed in North Carolina, a place that I visited quite often, there's a bridge, but it's the way it's built. You would think more Romanesque and Greekish, but all around it, which nobody paid attention to, I got off trail and went and showed them and says, these were grand castles. And they could see the walls tumbled. And then what do you see? You see metal rails that point in a direction that no longer perceived or seen, I believe existed during the time of the fake fucking Zion, these fucktards, welfare, that they literally targeted and destroyed when we started to fall back, because nobody really never won or lost that fucking war. It was an ongoing war from the time of the inception of the niggas we was fighting, who had been turned, and these half-breed motherfuckers kept coming on boats, who we kept welcoming, believing everything was getting back together after the cataclysmic shit we went through, until these fucktards showed up. It was meant to be. I still got to cuss them. They're cursed. So there's nothing wrong with cursing them. Oh, they're cursed beyond levels you can even fucking conceive. The festival hall, in parentheses the states used for concerts, was the centerpiece of the fair. Also designed by Gas Gilbert, it was 200 feet in diameter and 200 feet high, which, you know, that fuck Gas Gilbert didn't design shit. The festival hall's dome at 165 feet in diameter was larger than St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Have any of y'all ever been there and seen that? Well, that's Tartarian as well. Them fucking wops didn't. It's not. I'm calling them that because they're not the real people of that fucking land. That's what they call themselves. Them guapos didn't fucking build that. They're half breeds. They didn't build that shit. I mean, they didn't know how to fucking build nothing when they came here. Fucking pisses me off every time. Evelyn Longman's victory statue stood on top of the dome. The building had now. I must say this. You want to talk about some real motherfuckers who are that land, who cornered off? Like the Hopis to these fake Navajo motherfuckers? Huh? You want to know who? The Sicilians. The building had an auditorium. Longman's victory statue stood on top of the dome. The building had an auditorium for 3,500 people and the world's new largest pipe organ built by the Los Angeles Art Organ Company, in parentheses the states, which went bankrupt as a result. And the massive instrument had 10,059 piece pipes and was capable of 70. Holy shit. 17,179,869 and 183 distinct fucking tonal effects. I'm going to read that to you again. 17,179,869,183 distinct tonal effects. Them motherfuckers couldn't even fart straight. So you know they didn't build this. Zow shit. Soul fucking people. Distinct tonal effects and needed 10 train cars to transport it to St. Louis. Afterwards, it was purchased by John Wanamaker for his new Wanamaker store in Philadelphia, where he also had fucking Dutch-made Indian statues out in the fucking tobacco statues out in the front of it, where it became known as the Wanamaker organ. The famous bronze eagle in the Wanamaker store also came from the fair in front of the festival hall, where the Cascades, a series of waterfalls in which pumps pushed 45,000 gallons of water a minute through man-made falls into the Grand Basin, and Scott Joplin, no kidding to Janis Joplin, maybe, wrote the ragtime song Cascades in honor of them, to which TLC... Anyway, the Missouri State Building was the largest of the state's area. Though it had sections with marble floors and heating and air conditioning, it was planned to be a temporary structure. However, it burned the night of November 18th and 19th, just 11 days before the fair was to end. Most of the interior was destroyed, but some contents were rescued without damage, including some furniture and much of the contents of the fair's model library. Since the fair was almost over, the building was not rebuilt. Of course, it is interesting that the one building that claims to have real marble and even heating and air conditioning burns in a fire that destroyed only this one building. We're going to cut that off there. I felt a tone coming out of me that's not allowed to come out. I think I'm ready for some things that you people will never understand or nor be ready for. So I must always keep certain things on a cap. Now, this is our beautiful, wonderful story. Heaven Bearers. The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood. Did y'all see what I just did? Those of you watching, I made y'all feel some way with the tone of my voice. Did you even pay attention to that? Janine Helen, South Africa. I'm only mentioning that because I know I did. And if you're honest, you'll know it. You'll be surprised. I just love this story. I really, really do. I love this story. This is just a romantic fantasy. I would love to be behind the camera shooting this. Yes, I did. I took control of it. And I also relaxed y'all, I hope. Anyway, she is mine, he mutters as he walks off into the distance. He knows he needs her, but his ego doesn't want to admit it to that. Remember? It is late afternoon, and the snow has stopped for a short while. Bonnie is resting with the twins inside the cave, and she is having another one of her vivid dreams. Except this time, it is not a dream about the past, but about the future and what awaits them all. Something unexpected happens. She is back in the mansion, and she returns to her old life. Malcolm is in his study, preparing his paperwork, while Jane is in the kitchen getting tea and a lemon cream cake. Oh my God, I haven't had a lemon cream cake since 1970 something. God dang it, man. Big Mama. Oh, Grove Street. Anyway, ready for afternoon snacks. Emil and Amelia are playing outside in the yard, laughing and mock screaming. Bonnie is standing at the oval-shaped window on the second floor. With the dark blue curtains, she is playing with the tassels on the silver-colored tie-back. While she watches, oh, I miss those purple, what are they called, terry cloth curtains or whatever it was with the silver or the gold. Oh man, I miss those, man, growing up. Anyway, while she watches her children play happily on the nearly mowed lawn, she is pregnant again with another boy, and he is completely normal and has no powers or special abilities. The twins no longer possess their powers either, and she doesn't know why. They are a normal and happy family. The world did not end, and the Tartarian Empire survived the war. Just barely. It will take many years in order to repair and we build it new. What was broken. But the humans, Phoenicians, and Tartarians have found a way to coexist. A new covenant was reached with Mother Nature, and peace and harmony prevails completely. You know what Mother Nature is? Order. Did I need to tell y'all that, though? Are y'all close to actually getting it? She is happy with the ending to the story, but she can never erase that particular day. Their final battle was horrific in every way, and it cost her so very dearly. She shakes the thought away and tells herself that there is no point in dwelling on it. You can't change the past, Bonnie, she tells herself, and goes back to watching the twins play. It is summer and the sun is shining. There is a sweetness in the air. I miss the sweet grassy plant smell. And the garden is filled with bright blooming flowers. And Malcolm walks up behind her and wraps his big and loving arms around her gently, while he kisses the side of her neck. Can you believe that they are already 3 years old? He asks and kisses her neck some more. His lips are soft and sends tiny shockwaves through her entire body. I am just glad they were lucky enough to have a normal childhood, a clean slate after everything they had to see and do, she says with a slight undertone of pain in her voice. Well, we all lost so much that day. Yes, we did. But look at what we have now. Malcolm moves his hands over her belly and pulls her in closer and up against him. How about we head to the bedroom for a few minutes? Jane will keep an eye on them. He starts kissing her neck more passionately, and she can feel the lust in his lips. It is electric, and she turns to face him and stares into those luminous green eyes. She starts to kiss him while her hand wanders down to his belt and she unbuckles it. He pushes her against the wall and lifts her arms above her head. He takes a moment to look at her, just at her. He finds her so incredibly beautiful, irresistible, and he wants her to know this. Take me and put me onto the table in the corner of the room, she orders him. He picks her up and puts her down on the table gently. Within seconds, his hands are under her dress, and he can't wait to have her. She wakes up suddenly to the sound of screeching, and she looks around her, forgetting briefly where she is. She listens carefully and lets her eyes scout the settlement to make sure everything is okay. She hears the screeching again and sees that it is merely some boys teasing a young girl with a dead creature they found buried under the snow. She lies back down and smiles with the knowledge that they will win this war. At least I hope so, she mutters under her breath and pulls the blanket over her head, and she doesn't share her dreams with anyone, not even Malcolm. The last thing she wants to do is to create false hope and have those she cares about believing in a lie. It won't do anyone any good, she tells herself. And Malcolm and the twins are still sleeping, so she grabs her coat and walks outside. It is full of holes and only has one button, but it is warm and she likes the color. It is a soft blue and it reminds her of a clear summer sky. It reminds me of a time. We need to have, I was attempting to control that. Anyway, we need to have a little chat, she mutters to no one, and walks up towards the mountain. The wind is strong, which makes the 30-minute walk difficult, but she can't have any prying eyes or ears around. This conversation is private and she needs to remain private. The wind suddenly dies down with it. A rock with a flat top gets uncovered from the snow and for her to sit down on. Thank you. She takes a seat and rubs her hands together to try and warm them up. It is cold and we have hardly any food left. You have provided well, but we need more if we are to wait and survive here any longer. The air gets very thick and warm suddenly, and an old lady appears in front of her. She is neither Tartarian nor Phoenician. She is also not a human or heaven bearer. She is nothing and no one. She is the tree of life in the form of a human, something relatable and non-threatening. Bonnie and the tree of life have been meeting up for 2 weeks now, secretly. Bonnie needs guidance and she is willing to offer it. And we'll read some more tomorrow. That's my boy. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Ladies, we need y'all to do that as many times a day. Barefoot, long dress on, sweats, well, time and age, outside for a minute, chanting what needs to be chanted for the strong of us and for yourselves to unite and for them, the success to stop. Mama Red, first on board. Hey, Evelyn Smiley, aka American Nietzsche. What's going on, huh? Platinum Gold TV, salute, brother. Kyle Thomas, what's going on, brother? Bernard Teller, it's good to see you. Rep, what's going on, baby girl? Idiots worship that fictional character, and yet the greatest. But we're not here to defame them. You remember that now. But yes, it's one and one. They've been giving the energy over to something that, but they know not what they do. Equator 7, Joe Fraser, yeah, right. With a conqueror, she's gonna make them flow. I know, right. Anyway, I love y'all, man. And Rep, she's very informative, but she's got a lot of knowledge. I'll be surprised, man. That's why I have to go hard on certain individuals, man. I love her to fucking death. You hear me? No, man. When you come up from, and yeah, it's like that, y'all. But the love is the same for all of you. I know y'all thought I said WAP. I said guap. See, me being of Dutch, Germanic, indigenous, autochthonous, a little Chinese and a little Irish bloodline and Spanish Irish bloodline. Original Irish were Negroes, and if you know about Atlantia, you would know that we settled most of those lands. There's a perversion that keeps division from all of us uniting as we should. So that's why I embrace all my historical, as far as genealogy, because I know a little more truth than this shitstorm. That's why I had to say what I did about that fucktard who created the racists, which started with 3, then it became 4, and then it became 5, which is pure, utter disgrace and bullshit. Yet people, and that was in the 1700s, hold on to this. And most of y'all don't know, and if you did see it, you haven't taken it to memory. Y'all, it is important to know this is not a fucking race. This is not a fucking competition. This is good versus bad. Evil versus righteous. Empty beings who don't want your soul but want to see you as empty and dead. So it is a spiritual warfare, but it's not one spirit against the other. Stop allowing these lunatics to control a narrative they have no control over. I got to get some coconut water and some lemon. It's beautiful to have had y'all here. And I said I was going to do an open mic tonight. I'm going to take a little rest, and I'm probably going to set it up and do it because I really want to have that discussion. And I hope everybody wants to join in. Everybody's voice is a frequency, a vibration, and everybody's voice is important. Even what you say is important. You must start believing that by now. No one has no control over nobody. It's never been about controlling somebody. And I hope you get that now. I have to take control because y'all don't have no self-control. But it's not about controlling anything or anyone. Thanks for the new subscribers. Appreciate you. Share this. Maybe we'll get to where I can tell the story. Maybe one day I won't have to. Who knows? Y'all have a grand day.